Hello and welcome to Upstack America's Oracle EBS Financials Functional Training. My name is Bob and I'm the lead senior consultant for Upstack America. And with me today I have Victor, who is also a senior consultant. And today we are handling an extension of lesson 3 of the general ledger. And this is about the WebADI functionality. Victor, please walk us through.
Thank you, Bob, for the introduction. Welcome everybody to this lesson. As Bob said, we are going to look at the journal wizard functionality in general ledger. And because of that, we are also going to talk a bit about WebADI, just so that we can know what it is, okay? So we know all about the sources for journals. They can come from external modules, okay? External Oracle application modules such as AP, AR, assets. When you create accounting from those modules, the accounting entries are dumped in the GL interface table, okay? And then when you do the journal import, it validates the information which is it is not corrupted, or the correct information to be imported into the GL table. But we also know that we can upload journals from a spreadsheet, okay? And this is enabled by the WebADI functionality. So let's just talk about WebADI for a bit. WebADI, it stands for Web Applications Desktop Integrator. I probably should have put that down for you. The Applications Desktop Integrator, it is a software which is owned by Oracle, okay? And what this software does is that it generates for the user who is using a desktop with Oracle applications. For example, you and I, okay? It could be maybe an accountant working in a firm that is using Oracle applications, okay? So what WebADI does is that it creates specially formatted, let's say specially formatted Microsoft Office documents. So think of Excel or Word documents. So WebADI creates pre-formatted documents, which could be Excel documents or Word documents. This is something, these layouts can be created by people with the technical know-how, but so in our case, we will go and find predefined layouts, okay, for journals, okay? But WebADI creates Microsoft Office documents, like you have said, Excel or Word, which are pre-formatted, which can then be downloaded onto the user's computer, okay, or desktop. Then the user can make modifications to that document, and later they will re-upload that document to the server so that they can now upload the information in those documents into the appropriate Oracle tables. So perhaps maybe to give examples, let's say you have an accountant, all right, who you want to enter journals, okay? let's assume this accountant is reading these journal lines or these journal entries from somewhere manually, okay, or maybe they are on an Excel sheet. So they can either go and key in those journal lines manually in GL, like we have been doing when we enter manual journals, okay, or using this WebADI functionality, they can launch the journal wizard. All right, the journal wizard basically will allow you to choose a pre-formatted Excel document with special features, okay? And then when you download that Excel document, as you will see, it will be formatted to look like the data you want to enter. For example, for journals, it will have formatting for places where you will enter the account combinations, the line descriptions, okay? Basically, the way the journal entry page looks like. So you can, for example, copy and paste your journal lines here, all right? You can work on these journal entries offline, and then later when you're connected to the internet, you can go and upload those journal entries onto the server. WebADI. So WebADI can be used with other Oracle modules or applications, okay? For example, if it's in human resources, you might want to be able to upload a form that maybe contains a Word document that contains the names of employees. Maybe you have those names and contact details somewhere on a Word document. So you can just copy them onto the WebADI generated document and upload them. And Oracle will be able to read and take that data into the Oracle tables. So perhaps as I'm talking about it, it's a bit vague, but when we do the example using the journal wizard, it will become clearer. Now, in our case, the document which we'll be using will be, of course, spreadsheet. So we'll be using Excel. So there are some settings that we need to do in Excel, and there are also some settings that we need to do in our browser. So let's start with saying that to use this feature, we'll need to use a different browser. So you've been using Mozilla, but we're not able to use this feature with Mozilla. So in order to use this feature, we'll be required to use Internet Explorer. Now, in Windows desktops, they usually come installed with a browser called Microsoft Edge. In Microsoft Edge, you have the option of opening this Microsoft Edge as Internet Explorer. So I'm going to demonstrate that for you. We're going to open Edge as Explorer, make some settings, okay, and then we'll be able to log into the instance using Explorer for the journal wizard functionality. Okay. There are also settings we need to make in Excel, and we're going to start with that so that then from there we can go to Internet Explorer. So what we need to do in Excel is to enable macros, and how you do that is macros are special features which basically, let's say they make that document like a smart document which is able to handle some complex tasks and also like communicate with the server. Okay, so I have an Excel document open here. Okay, so what we need to do is in Excel, you go to options here. So if you click file and go to options, you will have this option down here that says Trust Center. Okay, click on Trust Center, then go to Trust Center settings. When you go to Trust Center settings, you'll have this option here on the left in this column. Click on macro settings. Okay, so under macro settings, what we need to do is to select this option, enable all macros. Okay, and under developer macro settings, we need to make sure that this trust access to the VBA project object model is checked. So ensure that these two options are checked so that we are able to use this WebADI functionality with Excel. Okay, so those are the settings that you need to make. Okay, so another setting that you might need to make maybe depends on the default settings on your Excel or the Excel version is for add-ins. Okay, so once we create that Excel document using the journal wizard, it will come now integrated with some Oracle menu options. Okay, in order to be able, some of those menu options include the option to upload that document back to the server once you have made the changes you want to it. So if you don't have that those Oracle menus available to you, then the document becomes useless. You can't do anything. And in order to see those menu options, you might need to play with this add-ins option here. Okay, so what you need to do, we need to make sure that there's an add-in we need to make sure is active. Right, so what you can do is down here you have an option to narrow down between add-ins, actions, this is all technical stuff. And so I'm just helping you to go to where you need to be. So make sure that the option selected is Excel add-ins and select go. Okay. Make sure that this analysis toolpack VBA is selected. Okay. Select OK. So this is not the document we are working with for our example. I just came here to make the settings for Excel, right? So our settings for Excel have been done and saved. Now we need to make some changes to our browser. Okay. So for guys with Windows desktops, like I said, let me close this. You will have Edge, which comes most of the time. I don't know why I keep losing that bar. You will have this Edge that comes most of the time. So this is what we are going to use. So let's say maybe Edge is not launched, and we start from the beginning. You launch Edge. Then here you will come and enter the URL for our instance. This one. Now, once you've done that, you will come here, and down here you will see this option to open with Internet Explorer. Let me go back away from this page. Let me close this and open a new tab. So most of the times, if you don't have the website already, keyed in, if you're not on the website already, the option is grayed out. So you need to make sure first that the site, the URL is entered and you're on the maybe home page. So EBS server, that's where I want to be. And then open with Internet Explorer. Now we can log in. No, actually, before we log in, so let me take you to the settings that we need to do. Now, once this has been opened with Internet Explorer, you come here to settings. So you should maybe document these steps. This also might be problems that you could encounter in the field, and it's good to know some of these things. So go to settings. The first thing we need to take care of is going to be under this compatibility view settings. Okay, so click on that. So what you need to do is add the website for our instance. All right. So ebsserver.com, like that, and then you can select add. Mine is already added, so we can close that. Good. So the next step we need to do is go to Internet Options. Once you go to Internet Options, this window opens. Go to Security. All right. Once you go to Security, click on Trusted Sites and enter sites. Okay. So I hope you saw that. So under Trusted Sites, then select sites. So here again, we add the URL for our instance. Now there's a bit of a trick here. Because of this security settings, you might need to uncheck this box if it is checked. So for example, if I remove this and then check, if I try to add http add, it gives me this error. So sites added to this zone must use HTTPS. Ours is HTTP, some security certificate or something to do with that. Okay, so you need to uncheck this require server verification so that you will be able to add the site. So once that is done, we can close and press OK. So now we can log in. let me use if I can remember the password. Okay. So now I am logged in. And we can do an example for our journal wizard. Okay. Now let's go back to that slide. We have a spreadsheet. We enter information in that spreadsheet. Then we upload it. But first, we'll have to have downloaded this spreadsheet, which is a special Excel spreadsheet, specially formatted, as you will see, and you can have different layouts that you can create using WebADI. Now I'll go here, the navigation, I'll go to my GL responsibility, and what I'll do is launch Journal Wizard. So it takes me to this page, okay? So you can see you have these layouts, okay? Depending on the layouts you select, then the Excel document that you download will have different layouts, okay? This is, of course, for journals. So these journals will have maybe different kinds of information entered into them. So hence, they will have different layouts. So if you want to enter journals for functional and actual amounts, you can select this functional actual single, which is what we want to use, and then create document. So you see it says a file will be downloaded to your desktop. When prompted, choose to open the file and to enable macros. So this is the file here. Do you want to open webadi.xls, which is the extension for Excel documents from ebsserver.com? So this is actually a file that we are downloading. So we open, it opens in Excel. If it opens, that didn't work as expected. So let's return functional single and create document. All right, still not working. I don't know why. So let's take a small break and we'll resume. So we had got to the part where we were ready to create our document, but when we opened the Excel document, we weren't getting the results expected. So here is the change I did, and it seemed to get me a result. So remember I told you that we can open this with Internet Explorer, okay? And when I did my login, I did my login using Internet Explorer, okay? So once you have done those settings that we did under Internet Explorer, here, those compatibility view and about internet and internet options, you can leave this mode, the Internet Explorer, and now just use Edge, and it will actually function just like Mozilla does actually. Okay. So right now I am on Microsoft Edge and I'm going to log in. So right now I'm using Edge. It is possible that the desktop maybe you're using does not have Edge and you have Internet Explorer itself. You should just do the settings as I have done them in my demonstration here on your Internet Explorer, and then try using the Journal Wizard functionality. It should work for you if you have done all the settings correctly. I'm not sure why it's not working for me in Internet Explorer mode, but when I'm working with Edge, it is working. Yeah, so try to work with the browser you have. People who have Macs using Mozilla or Safari, the earlier versions. I'm not sure there are Internet Explorer versions for Mac. I'd have to confirm that. But anyway, let's continue. So I'll log in as a GL responsibility, then go to Launch Journal Wizard. So the layout that I want to use is functional actuals. Then I'll click on Create Document. I want to open this. Hopefully this time it will work. So the document is being created. Give it a few minutes or a few seconds. Okay. So now we have the document has been created, and I can close that. So now we have our document. Okay. As you can see, it's like a special kind of Excel document. It has some information from the server. Okay, so you have information such as the data access set, the chart of accounts. Okay, the balance type, and the database. So now when you have this document, you can enter journals. This one is for entering journals. This is what the layout looks like. Remember we said WebADI helps us to create these documents that they're usually Microsoft Office suite documents. So this could have been maybe a Word document, okay? If this was for another purpose, it could have had another layout. If it's a document, for example, to enter the names of employees and their contact information, then the layout won't be like this. And the information will depend on what was determined to be created in that document when it was being created using a WebADI. So now if we want to use this, what do? We enter information here, okay? So you have these fields. This is supposed to be working. So let me see. The functionality that's not okay. That's what I was looking for. It's a bit slow. So now you see, for example, in this ledger field, I have three options to select from: Mascani Group Journals level, Mascani Group Sub-Ledger level, Mascani Group US ledger. Why do I have these three options? Because of this data access set here. So let's say I want to enter journals in our primary ledger. Select. You have categories. So this is information you would see on a normal journal entry window on the forms, okay? So category, can just say adjustments. This is just for demonstration. Select. Now for source, you will have to say spreadsheet, because this is coming from a spreadsheet. Okay. So let's see. Spreadsheet. Currencies, the ones that are enabled. The date, let's choose today's date. I believe this is today's calendar drawn from the server, so day 20th. And what's this? Don't know whether I can. Okay, I'm trying to expand this anyway. All right, looks like these fields don't have a pick list. I can't read clearly what it says here. Okay. Now, of course, for the journal, these are the lines. And when you click on it, then you get the flex field. Okay, so let's just enter a simple journal. So I'll select this combination. Select. And then I can enter the amount, $100. I can enter this. So let's say, let's pick a revenue account. Land sales. Should have a select option. Division 100. And we'll default the rest. and the amount I'll enter 100. So maybe this is the sale of something, land. You can enter descriptions here, maybe revenue from Miami land sale or something. Just putting this so that when we upload, we'll see this information. Well, I put in a line there, a description for the line, just to have that information. So I don't have my add-ins here. I should have an option on my menu bar that says add-ins, and that is where I go to select the option for uploading. So let me go to options again, go to add-ins. So all this say they have been selected. So I have my menu option available here, and you can see now I have this commands for Oracle, okay, including this upload command. Now, how did I get to have this menu option? I tried a variety of solutions, but none of them worked. So I thought maybe to close and save the document so that the changes maybe are reflected and then reopen it. So that's what I did. I saved the document and then close it. So when you save it, in order to retain your macros, you might want to change the save as type. So save this as a Excel macro enabled workbook to retain your macros, okay? And then save it. So when I saved mine and closed it, and then opened it, I had the menu options for add-ins available here. So I assume maybe it's some changes that had not been effected or something of that sort. Anyway, we have a option here. Now, let's select upload. I mean, to upload, you have to be logged in, okay, and to EBS. But to make changes to the document itself, you don't have to be logged in, okay? So think about it, for example, an accountant who doesn't have access to the instance at home, okay? So maybe they can have this document here. They can go and do their work at home, enter all the journals in this document. When they go back to the office, then they can log in and upload this document, and the journals will be uploaded to the GL tables. So you can see how this WebADI feature is useful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need to select a responsibility. Now, upload parameters. You can upload all rows, or you can upload flagged rows. Okay, these are flagged rows. These are rows which have something entered in this column here. You can see this flag here. So when you enter a value there, that row becomes flagged, and it is one of the parameters for upload. So you can upload all rows, or you can only upload the ones which are flagged. Okay. You have this other options. Validate before upload. You have automatically submit journal import. If you go back to our slides here, journal import is the one that moves the entries from the GL interface table to the actual GL tables, balances. Okay. So if you allow import, then they will be transferred to GL, those journal lines. If you do not allow import, then you'll have to run journal import separately later. So automatically submit journal import, yes, and you have all these other options. Okay, upload and balance journals, which also require other settings, suspense accounts, the option to summarize. So these parameters will work for our example. So let's select upload. The process has completed successfully. You can see also 2 rows successfully uploaded and journal import request, because we allowed journal import together with our upload, was completed. So we can close this. You can see we have 2 smiley faces here that say everything is okay. So you can see how this is a very complex document that is constantly in communication with the server. So now let's go to Oracle and log in. We did journal import, so we should oh well, this is not working. Let me use Mozilla. Maybe the plugin settings for this have not been configured. All right, so let me log in here. So we should be able to see our journals. First, let's see whether okay. So this is what we want. This is from before. WebADI journal import. Okay. And this is like any other journal import report. It will show you the number of lines, number of headers, any errors if they are there. Okay. Let's see whether we can bring this down by source spreadsheet. There we have it. Let's review the journal. And you can see this is a journal we created using that WebADI document, including the description for this line. So this is what we were entering basically here. So if I can put this, can't minimize it better than that. So this is basically what we were entering here, right? See, balance type, actual, although this was chosen from the layout type. We have the category, adjustment, okay, and of course the lines. So we're basically entering information in this Word document and then uploading that information into the Oracle tables. And that is the purpose of WebADI, and this journal wizard functionality is just one of the ways we can use it. So that's it for this lesson, unless Bob, you have something to add.
All right, thank you so much, Victor.
Thank you.